Okay, traders, let me ask you a question. Would you take this trade? Price is pulling back. The overall structure seems to be to the upside, and we've got some support levels marked out. I've got the 38.2%, the 50%, and the 61.8. The one that I like the most is the 50% retracement, as in this case, it has a major level of support lined up with it. So as price pulls back, the question for me to you is, do you think you would have taken this trade? Do you agree with this trade? Do you disagree with this trade? And for context, we can actually scroll out and you can see this is what the higher time frame looks like. So you've got a nice upward trend, price is pulling back, and we are very close to the 50% retracement. So think about your answer. Now let's take a look at what actually happened. So price comes down, and if I can just step forward, price comes down, and the question is, would you enter this trade? Are you in on the trade? Well, here's what I did. I bought this currency pair. This is NZD JPY off of the 1 hour chart. I bought it right around this area. My thought process is we had a lot of rejection the previous time. We shot off this area, and it very well just could be a retest going on before we shoot higher according to the higher time frame trend that we've been discussing. Okay, cool. Then the next thought process for me was, well, where am I going to put a stop loss? Even if I do like this trade, I pick it up here on the long side. And this is a trade I actually took. I'll show you that in just a second. Price came down, hit me in, and I took the entry. Where does the stop loss go? Well, the stop loss for me was just below the 61.8% retracement, risking about 30 pips on this particular trade. Also with that, I was risking 30 pips, but also about $400. My lot size was 180,000 units, or 1.8 lots. Risking $400, I took this trade. What happened next? Well, let's step forward and see. So the next thing that happens is we actually get a great response off this level. And as price rallies, I'm feeling, okay, hey, you know what? This is looking like a nice start. We have a strong rally going on after tagging that 50%. This is something I want to hold on to. And so time progresses, and sure enough, the market falls apart. Have you ever been in this situation? Well, I have, quite literally, because you can actually see that currently that is the trade scenario that I just faced. I took a loss on NZD JPY here. So price pulled back to that 50% retracement. I got in, just as I mentioned, after price started to reject it. So my entry was not perfectly at the 50%, would have been nice, but I still liked the trade and was willing to pick it up in this area. So price pulls back, I get into the trade, my stop loss goes below the lows. And by below the lows, I risked about 30 pips on the trade like I mentioned. So price closes me out, and I take the full loss on the trade of 180,000 units for $400. We'll show you the profit and loss on the screen now with the screenshot. So yeah, I take the loss, and sure enough, price continues to go down in my against me, right? So the question is, what did I do wrong here? And is this something that we can learn from? Well, here's the thing. When we analyze this chart, you're going to have some people who say your technical analysis was off because this, and this. And in some cases, they may just be right. But according to my strategy, which I've used for years, and I've had, you know, relatively to what I'd like to call great success in trading, which is slow and steady, consistent growth over time. You know, this is an entry I take day in, day out. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. No matter what your entry pattern or strategy is, it's not perfect. Nothing is. It's just the way of the markets. So price comes down and I take a loss. And so I'm sitting here this morning and I'm thinking, hey, is this something I could have avoided, right? Did I just miss something with the chart? And although, yes, maybe I could have waited for a little bit deeper at that, you know, at that 50% to reduce my risk, it ultimately still wouldn't have mattered, as I definitely would have taken a loss had I waited here. The point is, the trend kind of fell apart. So my upward trend idea didn't work out. And here's the thing. Whenever you take a trade with the trend, as I often try to do, right? I try to go with the direction, the momentum. You know, you're kind of betting that the momentum is just going to continue, which oftentimes works great because momentum, you know, often can just keep going and going in markets. So it's great when it works out. But every once in a while, momentum cracks. And this can be a little bit frustrating, and traders can very quickly jump to a conclusion like, oh, well, I missed this signal this time, or, well, the MACD was telling me this, or the RSI showed RSI divergence, and they come up with a reason every time they take a loss that's just a simple technical indicator that they add to the chart. And very quickly, your chart ends up looking like this.
What the hell am I looking at?
Many traders get themselves into what is called analysis paralysis, where they always have the perfect solution to why they won or lost a trade after the trade is finished and everyone knows what happened. The problem with trading is that it's actually doing the hard decisions on the right-hand side of the screen, not on the left-hand side of the screen. And the reason I point this out is because it's an easy trap to fall into, to think, oh, well, I just missed this time, or next time I'm going to use this. And if you constantly tweak your strategy, you'll never actually be consistent at anything. No matter what you do, you're going to have losses. And in this case, the loss that I took was valid. The price didn't hold my pullback. I thought we would get a rally from here. We didn't. And so I stopped out and I accepted that I was wrong about this idea. It happens. It's part of trading, and trading 101 is, in my view, keeping the losses small and letting winners run. Because here's the thing, right? If this trade did work out and I was able to trail a stop loss, especially when I risked only 30 pips, right? I risked a small portion of the account. If this trade would have gone flying in my direction, what I would have done is trailed stops. And that's what I do very often in my videos. If you watch a lot of my trading videos, you'll see, that's my strategy. I trail stop loss and I try and let winners really become quite large. So in that case, if we had taken a trade and the market rallied past the highs, in that case, I could have easily, for my $400 risk, made something like $800 or $1,200 or $1,500. Just depends, how the market behaved. But that is something I do, to let winners run. But every once in a while, you just take a trade, and it's best to just cut the loss quickly and say, hey, look, my probability-based decision didn't work. There's no certainties, right? So a lot of times, again, traders make the mistake of trying to find the absolute reason for why their trade did or did not work out. When in reality is you could have a perfect textbook setup and it doesn't work out because markets are probability-based. They're not perfect. They're not certain, and technical analysis has flaws, as everything does in trading. If there was a flawless approach, everybody and their neighbor would be doing this stuff, right? It's hard. So that's the reality of it. Anyways, I wanted to talk through a loss with you guys because it is an important thing to pay attention to your losses psychologically. One thing that I've always been an amateur, chess player, or love the game of chess and trying to learn it over the years. And one thing that is discipline and hard for me to even do because it's boring sometimes is to go back and analyze chess games after I lose or win a chess game to understand what went right, what went wrong, what did I do, what could I have improved next time. And the same thing goes for trading. Of course, you don't want to tweak your strategy every single time, but you do maybe want to look out for, maybe I didn't risk the right amount here, or maybe I didn't take into account news or something like that, whatever your strategy is. So there's a little bit of a breakdown on a loss that I took. Again, I'm out $400 in this trade. Not a big deal, nothing I can't recover over time. And we will be back with more trading videos soon. See you guys later. It looks like you made it to the end of one of my videos. Thank you so much for supporting my content. It really means the world to me. And down below in the description, I put together some of my best resources for aspiring traders who are looking to improve. I've got some free downloads that could help you, some broker recommendations, and if you'd like to join our Discord or get access to some of our trading software, all of that will be linked down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.